my gosh! Since 1959, this place has been a Florida legend. It's a world-class zoo mixed with record-breaking roller coasters, but recently, the internet handed it a title that no one wants. A major study of TripAdvisor reviews by FloridaRentals.com identified Busch Gardens Tampa as the #2 tourist trap in the entire United States. Critics are calling it tired, overpriced, and overhyped, but maybe they're just missing the point of what makes this place so special. In this video, we're gonna be riding the rides, visiting the animals, and eating all the food. And we'll be tracking all the prices along the way. So is Busch Gardens really overhyped, or is it underrated? There's only one way to find out.
Our day at Busch Gardens began at around 9:45 when they opened the gates for parking. We quickly hopped on the tram and arrived to find an already massive line at the gates. When 10 a.m. hit, we made our way into the park, where I rushed off to hop on my first ride of the day, and Skylar hit the customer service desk to grab our dining and quick queue wristbands.
So we've been inside the park all of about maybe 5 minutes now, and we already had our first setback. Right when I got to the front of the customer service line, I got a call from Jamie saying she couldn't get on the roller coaster with her phone. Apparently they don't have cubbies, so I had to run to the Iron Gwazi and grab her phone from her. Now I'm heading back to the customer service desk, and I'm just hoping that the line isn't super long now.
So you can't have anything loose on this ride. You can't have your cell phone in your pocket, nothing. So you either have to give it all to a non-rider or rent a walker. And you do have to walk through a metal detector too.
So good news, guys. Even though that line was pretty long, I made it through it in only like 5 minutes or so. And they were also willing to give me Jamie's quick queue wristband. We did find out though that we wouldn't be able to get our all-day dining wristbands until we went to our first restaurant. Now Jamie decided to start off her day here at Busch Gardens by getting in line for the Iron Gwazi, which is known to be the best and most popular roller coaster here at Busch Gardens. And it's also one of 2 rides that don't work with Jamie's quick queue unlimited pass, which ironically is a little bit limited. Now, from our research, the average wait time for the Iron Gwazi is anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, but can get up to 2 hours long, so I'm really hoping that Jamie was able to get up towards the front of the line. Now what makes the Iron Gwazi so unique is that it combines a steel track with a wooden roller coaster, which supposedly makes it much smoother and capable of more maneuvering than your typical wooden roller coaster. And at over 200 foot tall, it's actually the tallest hybrid coaster in all of North America, and it's insanely fast, reaching top speeds of up to 76 miles per hour. Now Iron Gwazi isn't just known to be the best coaster here at Busch Gardens, it's also widely known to rank within the top 3 to 5 coasters globally. So I'm going to be really excited to see what Jamie thinks of it when she gets back down on the ground.
Oh boy. Okay. Gotta be like the scariest part. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Now those of you who've been following our channel for a while may already know that I do tend to get motion sickness, so going to a theme park for the day typically isn't too high on my to-do list. Thankfully though, this theme park is known for a lot more than its thrill rides. So while Jamie takes you up there on the roller coasters, I'm gonna be staying right here on the ground showing you things such as the bird aviary and the 65-acre Serengeti plain. Jamie's coming back from the Iron Gwazi. How was it?
Oh man, that ride was intense. It was fast, I got a lot of airtime, and it was really smooth. I think it's probably one of my favorite coasters I've ever been on, and I'm pretty sure I was screaming the entire time. Now we are probably gonna wanna show you the entire ride from this thing, so if you're not interested in that, then go ahead and skip ahead a minute or so. That was intense, but so much fun. I am currently in line to get our dining passes. I think it's a wristband that you wear all day. And these are the prices if we did not have the dining package. we are having our first meal with our all-day dining pass. Now, typically those do cost around $60 per person. There are 5 different restaurants that you can choose from to eat at, and at those you can order an entree, a side or dessert, and a drink once every 90 minutes. So if we stayed here for 10 hours, we could technically get 6 different meals, but we are not going to do that today because we have so many other things that we want to do. We are going to try to make it to the top 3 rated restaurants, and one of them is the Zagora Cafe, which is right behind me. But unfortunately, based on my experience so far, I wouldn't rate it very high. I had to wait in line 3 different times, once to get our wristbands for the all-day dining passes. Also, the staff let us know that they received these kiosks just last week and they are having issues with them. So after I had to wait in line to get one of our wristbands, I then had to wait in line for a kiosk to actually place my order. After placing the order at the kiosk, I then had to take my ticket to another line to wait in to actually get my food. So it was a very long and confusing process.
Now, eventually we hope those kiosks will make the ordering process more efficient, but they definitely aren't there yet. But let's get to the food. I'll start off with the things that I do like, and that is the fries. They are thick cut, they tasted really fresh, and I really enjoy the seasoning they put on them. Now, the burger, on the other hand, was a little bit of a disappointment. The bun was hard. It did have a lot of bacon on it, but it also only had 1 burger on it, and we ordered a double cheeseburger. Now, thankfully, we do have that all-day dining pass and didn't have to pay the $21.99 they normally charge for that burger, because in the real world, I would say that is a $3 burger at best. The entire cost of that meal would have been $28.48 without the dining pass, which we do think is a bit ridiculous. But now that we got some food in us, it's time to check out some more of the park. So I was just joking with Jamie that while she was on the Iron Gwazi, I could have been riding the Gwazi glider, but honestly, I'd probably get sick on that thing too. Now, even though Busch Gardens no longer has direct ties to Anheuser-Busch Brewing, they are still known to have a pretty good selection of beer for an amusement park, and they even have an auto pour beer station right behind me. Now, those of you who know our channel know that I love my beer, but I don't think I love it quite enough to pay $14 for one. So I think we're going to be sticking to the free soda under our dining pass, but we did pop into the coffee shop to see what those prices looked like, and we didn't think those were quite as bad. I think you could get a latte and a cappuccino for like $7 or $8.
All right, now we're walking through the area of the park where they have the food and wine festival. So along the way to finding me my next roller coaster, we passed by the kangaroo enclosure. Most of the kangaroos were just lounging in the shade, which is the place to be because it is getting hot.
Now, I'm guessing that some of these kangaroos could jump right over this fence if they really wanted to, but they don't seem to be that energetic.
It's hot. I don't blame them for just lounging. Right next to the kangaroo exhibit is the aviary, and of course we had to go check that out because Skylar loves birds. Unfortunately, there's restoration in process and that door is locked, so we can't go in.
Now, it is a little bit of a bummer that that aviary is closed because it was one of the things I was looking forward to the most here at Busch Gardens, but I did just spot some flamingos over that way, so at least we'll be able to check those out.
I had no idea how many flamingos they have here. There's got to be at least 30, right?
I think 50.
Skylar thinks maybe 50. You can come check out the flamingos here and have a view of a roller coaster in the distance.
Now, based on this sign, I would say that these flamingos are very healthy because they are all very pink. Now, one thing about that all-day dining pass is that I haven't had to reach for my wallet once, which would have been a big deal back in the day when I was carrying around a giant leather brick in my back pocket. But these days, my wallet is half the size and way more functional, thanks to the sponsor of today's episode, Exploration. This is their MagSafe wallet. It's ultra slim, RFID blocking, and uses extra strong magnets to attach right to the back of my phone. But the real game changer for me is that it's modular. And since we're gonna be in the park all day, I wanted to keep it super minimal, and all I have in my wallet is my cards. And if I do need to carry more, I love that it can easily attach to other MagSafe accessories like this extra cash clip. You just stack what you need and it stays incredibly secure. Now, if you got someone in your life who's pretty much impossible to shop for, an extra wallet or card holder may be the perfect solution, because I can't think of anyone who wouldn't want to upgrade something that they use every single day. Now, if you want to upgrade your own wallet to an extra wallet or card holder, be sure to scan the QR code or click the link in the video description. And don't forget to enter code Explorcation to save an additional 20% on top of whatever discounts they're currently offering on the Extra website. We do have to thank Extra for sponsoring this episode. Now let's go explore some more of this park.
There was a separate quick queue entrance for this one. This is the SheiKra, I'm not really sure how to say it. It's kind of a different coaster and it ends with a splash. The app said 20 minutes for one of these roller coasters and 30 minutes for the other. But with the quick queue, it should be much faster.
Now, one thing I've really been enjoying walking around here at Busch Gardens is all the different shrubs that are shaped like animals. And here we even found some shaped like Sesame Street characters. Now, we are gonna have this entire video to remember this trip to Busch Gardens by, so I don't think we're in the market for souvenirs today, but it's nice to know that there are plenty of shops around in case you are. Easily the best Sesame Street shirt I've ever seen.
So this is my first time using the quick queue and it is definitely paying off. So this is not set up like your typical coaster. It's quite wide and it dangles you up there for what seems like a ridiculously long time.
Pulling your harness down to your waist and buckling your safety belt.
That was pretty fast. I maybe had to wait like 3 rounds.
Now, this roller coaster right here looks like it basically goes straight down. I don't know if Jamie was going on that one next.
Pretty fun. So by the time I was done with that ride, the wait time was 45 minutes. So that quick queue did save me a lot of time. I think I maybe had to wait for 3 of the rides to go through to be able to get on mine. So I just went on this one here. Next up is Tigris. I did like SheiKra. It was very thrilling, but Iron Gwazi is still at the top for me. The current wait time for Tigris is around 40 minutes and I just went through the quick queue. We'll see how fast it is for me. I have left my phone with Skylar so I don't have to worry about it on these rides. So I really don't know how long I'm having to wait. I can really just tell by how many rides go through before I get on. It seems like I'll be getting on the 3rd round for this one as well. And this one goes forward and backwards. Bye.
Now, Lorry Landing got its name because it is full of lorikeets and they are pretty friendly, especially if you pay a little bit extra and get a cup of nectar to feed them. There are some other birds in here as well though, including a variety of ducks and some teals. Now, it was tempting to buy some of that nectar because if you have it, they definitely will come up and land on you, but I was still able to get really close to them without it. And one girl actually had 1 lorikeet on each arm and 1 on her head, and she didn't even have any of the nectar, so I would definitely recommend stopping into Lorry Landing. After getting to see those flamingos and interact with all those lorikeets, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the bird experiences here at Busch Gardens, but now I'm gonna go try to find some more animals, and I should probably try to find Jamie too.
Once seated, buckle your seatbelt and pull the left arm down and secure it firmly to your legs.
So Tigris is the shortest one I've ridden so far, but it's probably the scariest in my opinion because it adds the going backwards, and whenever you're doing your loops, it's kind of going slower. But even though it's a little bit scarier, I still like Iron Gwazi the best. Now the challenge is to try to find Skylar because I have no way of contacting him, and we kind of thought the area in between these two coasters was a little bit smaller, so hopefully I'll be able to find him pretty quick.
I just noticed that they do also have some peacocks roaming around on the property. They seem to be pretty tame too. Before we went our separate ways, we both agreed that if we couldn't find each other, we would meet back up at Lori's Landing, so that's where I'm heading right now. Hopefully she arrives soon. On my way back through Lori's Landing, I came across this little guy. There she is. Those roller coasters took a while, huh?
A little bit, but not too long. I think if I were just to go through the normal line, it would have been at least 40 minutes for both of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We decided we wanted to go and find a pretzel spot to grab just a little bit of a bite to eat to hold us over until dinner time. And along the way, we saw orangutans and tigers. And the tiger area was nice because it was indoors and it's a little bit air conditioned. We made it to Twisted Tails Pretzel. We'll see you inside. We both ordered a pretzel and a drink. Mine was about $18.48 and Skylar's was $20.48. But it was all included in our dining package. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I was really excited to see they have a jalapeno cheese pretzel. It looks really good. It seems like it just came out of the oven. That's a good pretzel. Right now, I am actually about to get on the Serengeti Safari, which is a half-hour tour on a 4x4 truck. I believe it's the most popular tour here at Busch Gardens, and I can't wait to show it to you. Now, I am already super excited for this tour because it sounds like they're going to be giving us food to feed to the animals.
So I think that is the tour that Skylar is about to go on. So here you can see the Sky Ride, which is an additional $5 per way. And I just noticed that road that I think Skylar's tour is going to come down has a few different animals on it right now. I can't tell what they are from back here, but that's pretty cool. Hopefully he'll get to see them up close.
Our tour guide did say that all of the animals we're going to be seeing on this tour are animals you'd find in Africa, and the first one we've encountered here are Nyala. And I already see some zebras and giraffes up ahead.
So I'm currently taking a break from riding the rides while Skylar goes on the Serengeti Safari Tour, and I thought this would be a great time to talk about our ticket prices as well as the additional add-ons that we got. Now there is dynamic pricing here, so our tickets today on Monday, March 30th were $105 per person, but there are days you can get it cheaper and other days where it's more expensive. If we would have purchased our add-ons individually, those meal passes would have been $60 per person. My Fast Pass would have been $160, and Skylar's Serengeti Tour would have been $75. Then when you add in all the taxes and fees, that was about $90 more, so that total would have been over $615. But because Busch Gardens does offer some packages, we were able to save a little bit of money there. And at the end of this video, we'll tell you about the packages that we got, how much we ended up paying, and if we did think it was worth it.
Titan is the one that's coming to feed, so I'm gonna show you guys one side of feed. Titan does not know what personal space is, so you do have to keep it very, very high. High.
This giraffe's name is Titan, and they said he's about a foot taller than your typical giraffe. He is massive. His head is so freaking big.
So this lettuce is just water for them. What giraffes actually eat is about 75 pounds of hay and pellets.
Now behind the elephant area, you can see the Serengeti Flyer. That is the other ride that my quick queue does not work on. I would love to go on it, but there's still a lot of other coasters I can get on with my quick queue. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it on the Flyer this time. If you're not interested in paying the extra $5 for the Sky Ride over the Serengeti, but you still wanna check it out, you can see it by train, and I believe that is free. We might do that a little bit later.
Our tour guide just pointed out that zebras are actually brown and white and not black and white. Mind blown.
How was your safari?
It was awesome.
Was it?
It went by so fast, but you saw so many animals on it. Very entertaining. Feeding the giraffe was the best.
Oh, you got to feed a giraffe.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was very cool. So we've made it to the Falcon's Ferry, which takes you way up to the top of that tower, turns you this way, and then drops you. It was actually the one ride that I was considering riding because I thought it'd have some really good views at the top. And also I didn't think I'd get too sick on it, but of course it's currently out of order. We're hoping it opens back up before we have to go home, but it's not looking too promising. Now Jamie is off to ride her 4th roller coaster, and we still have 2.5 hours before this park closes, but there is absolutely no way we're going to be able to show you everything that Busch Gardens has to offer today. But we are going to do our best to show you a little bit more of this park, and we're definitely going to show you a whole lot more of Florida in our future episodes. And if you do want to help us keep making those episodes, be sure to hit that thumbs up button or that hype button, or maybe even consider watching one of our other 200 or so Florida episodes on this channel. You're back already?
So there was not a wait for anybody on that unless you wanted to ride in the very front. That one was a lot of fun. It was quite intense and it was a good length, but it jumbled my head around a little bit too much, so definitely not a good one for you.
Yeah, definitely not.
We're heading to one last roller coaster. I've been excited to get on Montu because supposedly it's one of the best inverted roller coasters in the world. They do say it is pretty intense. Now it is clouding up a little bit, so hopefully I will get on it before it starts raining.
Now while Jamie goes down Montu, I did want to mention that when we booked these tickets online, it said that the park was going to close at 7 today, but we were pleasantly surprised to find out when we arrived that the park's actually open till 8. Now most of the rides do actually seem to shut down at 7, but we're hoping that at least the restaurants will stay open. Holy cow, that is loud. But we're hoping that the restaurants at least stay open till 8 so we can enjoy one last meal before we go home. We're actually going to go on the Sky Ride after Jamie got off Montu, but that thing actually closes at 5, so we might actually try to take the train through the Serengeti also if that's still open, so Jamie can at least get a little bit of the Serengeti experience. You didn't have to wait very long for that one at all, did you?
No, I got right on that one. I could have waited a couple times if I wanted to be in the very front, but I got right on it. That one was very smooth. It was a lot of fun. It does twist you around quite a bit, but it's probably my second favorite. We made it to Dragonfire, and the ambiance here is much better than our first meal of the day, but we got here just before it closed, so that probably wasn't a great idea because we're thinking some of this food has been sitting for a while, but we'll see. I went with beef and broccoli and vegetables. Skylar went with a fried chicken sandwich and macaroni, and we both got dessert. His is a cheesecake and mine is a cookie. So overall, that's not bad. The meat is a little bit chewy, but I'm just happy to be able to eat some vegetables and some food that's not fried.
Now the bun on this chicken sandwich is similar to the bun on that burger. The bottom of it is very hard. And honestly, this chicken looks so dried out. I'm questioning whether or not I even want to try it. But on the bright side, the mac and cheese and the cheesecake both look really good. We'll try this sandwich first though. As expected, that sandwich was pretty bad. I do think I'll be able to eat most of it though. And honestly, I guess it's just kind of what you get when you show up to a buffet style restaurant right before it closed. Jamie, do you want a bite of my chicken sandwich?
No, I don't even want to try that thing.
Can I have some of your veggies?
Yes, you can have some of my veggies.
Now, even though that chicken sandwich was not good, that mac and cheese was pretty solid, and that cheesesteak was actually delicious. I think that entire meal would have cost us around $64 if we didn't have the all-day dining pass, which we would have never paid for that meal in the real world, but maybe it's normal in amusement parks. We just don't go to enough to know. But if you go to a lot of amusement parks, let us know in the comments if that's typical to pay for a meal like that.
The sun has set, we just got done eating, and the park closes in about 30 minutes. Now, before we wrap up our experience here, we do have to call out the 3 of you who guessed we'd be filming here today. In our Ocala episode, we gave some hints, and the first 3 of you to guess that we'd be filming here in Busch Gardens today are Matt P36 Fishing, Bunkers for Busch Gardens, and HyperXism. Thanks to everyone who guessed. Now, for our next episode, we're going to be taking you to an island that we have never taken you to on this channel. And while its flat landscape and world-renowned beaches may remind you a teeny bit of Florida, this tiny island is located 500 miles off Florida's coast in the Western Caribbean. So be sure to put your best guess in the comments, and the first 3 of you to guess correctly will get a shout out in that episode.
Now, since our day here at Busch Gardens is almost coming to an end, I did want to mention what we paid for our day here. Now, Jamie's bundle, which included her entrance, the quick queue, and her all-day dining, was a total of $225. My bundle was $145, and that just included the entrance and the all-day dining. We also paid $75 for my safari tour, and our parking along with fees came out to about $45. And I think the grand total was about $569, which still did save us around $90 or so, I believe, versus if we would have bought all of those things individually. Now, we do want to let you all know what we thought was worth it, what we thought wasn't worth it, and what we'd probably purchase if we came back to Busch Gardens again. But I think we're going to have to do that out in the parking lot because you can tell they want us to get out of here. We made it outside of the park and there were a ton of people waiting for the tram, so we just decided to walk back to our car. Now, one thing that both Jamie and I agreed on that definitely wasn't worth it here at Busch Gardens was that all-day dining pass. I think if we came back, we would just both plan on getting a couple of pretzels, a couple of coffees, and then also bring refillable bottles so we could just fill them at the water fountains. Now, one thing I definitely would recommend is paying for that safari tour. Even though it was short, the tour guide had so much information. We were able to get up close to so many different kinds of animals that I'd never seen before, and feeding that giraffe was probably the coolest experience I've had in a long time.
Now, I thought that quick queue was worth it. I waited on average between 3 and 10 minutes to get on every single ride today, and otherwise I probably would have had to wait around 45 minutes. Now, for somebody like me who doesn't get to an amusement park very often, I thought it was totally worth the upcharge. Now, if you're someone who's coming here frequently and getting that quick queue, that could get expensive very fast. Now, if you are local and can get a season pass, that is where you can get some savings because you can come here for an entire year, plus parking is included, and I'm pretty sure it would pay for itself at the second visit.
Now, is Busch Gardens overhyped or underrated? Honestly, I don't think it's either. There were a few things that really impressed us, but some things that kind of disappointed us as well. But one thing I definitely don't think it is a tourist trap. In my book, a tourist trap is something that kind of takes advantage of a trend and lacks any sort of real authenticity. But Busch Gardens has been around for ages. It has a legitimate world-class zoo and some of the world's best roller coasters. So while I definitely won't say it ain't pricey, as far as I'm concerned, Busch Gardens is no tourist trap. Now, while we would consider coming back to Busch Gardens, especially on an annual pass, I don't think we're going to be transitioning into a theme park channel anytime soon because it's those beaches and off the beaten path spots here in Florida that we truly love taking you to. And if you don't want to miss a whole lot of those types of episodes, be sure you're subscribed to our channel and have those notifications turned on so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching.